Hey, welcome to the Weekly Wrap only on Ken's 5 Plus. I'm your host, Audrey Castellano. Let's get you up to date on some of the biggest stories of the week. At number 5 in our countdown, a major U.S. Senate shakeup in the Texas primary runoff election. Attorney General Ken Paxton will be the Republican nominee for the state Senate, up for grabs in November. More than 300,000 votes separated him from incumbent John Cornyn. Cornyn is the first Republican senator from Texas to lose the party's nomination for re-election. He had held the position for 4 terms. Paxton's win comes after President Trump endorsed him just last week. He'll be facing Democratic nominee James Tallarico in November. At number 4 in our countdown, a house explosion in Gillespie County sent 2 people to the hospital. Officials say emergency crews were called around 8:30 a.m. Wednesday to a reported explosion near Fredericksburg off U.S. Highway 87. Firefighters arrived to find the home fully engulfed in flames. You can see the smoke for miles. The cause of the explosion remains under investigation, but investigators said the explosion appears to be an isolated incident. At number 3 in our countdown, new travel restrictions in effect for travelers flying from parts of Africa to the U.S. as a deadly Ebola outbreak continues to spread. All flights to the U.S. carrying passengers who recently traveled from the Democratic Republic of Congo, Uganda, or south of Sudan must arrive at one of 3 airports: Atlanta, Washington Dulles, or Houston's Bush Intercontinental Airport. Travelers arriving from those countries will be escorted to designated areas where they will undergo health screenings. The Trump administration also told CBS News the U.S. is also building a facility in Kenya for Americans who are exposed to the virus. Sticking with health news, a stroke, it can change a life in an instant, and not just for the person having it, but also for their loved ones and friends. And as Ken's 5's Jeremy Baker reports in this week's Healthy Essay, quick action in the minutes after symptoms begin can really help protect the brain, reduce long-term disability, and save a life.
May is American Stroke Month, and the American Stroke Association, a division of the American Heart Association, is highlighting the importance of recognizing the warning signs and understanding why early treatment and prevention can make a huge difference when it matters most.
While strokes are an issue with the brain, it's still the same heart, it's still the same blood vessels that are pumping blood to the brain. And so taking care of your heart also helps take care of your brain.
The leading risk factors for strokes include uncontrolled blood pressure, diabetes, obesity, alcohol use, and high cholesterol. A large majority of strokes can be prevented by building healthy eating habits, staying active, avoiding smoking, getting regular checkups, and most important, managing your high blood pressure.
Oftentimes, high blood pressure has no symptoms, but is very dangerous, is a leading cause in strokes and heart attacks. With hypertension, oftentimes you don't feel it at all.
To recognize the signs of a stroke, remember, be fast. Balance loss, eye or vision changes, face drooping, arm weakness, and speech difficulty. If you have any of those symptoms, it's time to call 911.
We'd much rather you come into the hospital for one of these symptoms and be able to rule out a stroke than have you wait and come in later and be much more sick.
You can check out the Be Fast experience on the American Stroke Association's website, as well as support services for survivors and care partners, including virtual stroke meetups. We have a link with this story on kens5.com. In the studio, Jeremy Baker, Ken's 5.
Thanks, Jeremy. The Weekly Wrap is back after this.
Go ahead. Take a look at the faces of San Antonio Zone. When you look into their eyes, you see passion, you see hard work, you see familia. Generations of people who embody a rich culture of respect, honor, and originality. We're all in San Antonio, but more importantly, San Antonio is in us. It's what makes us special. It's why we're proud to be San Antonio's own.
A broken vehicle fixed after 5 months of no help.
Ken's 5 made it 100% better.
A busted windshield fixed after getting the runaround from a contractor.
And you guys did it. Y'all were amazing.
A much-needed tax refund this man couldn't access. Yep, fixed.
Ken's 5 actually helped me out quite a lot, actually.
Have a consumer problem you can't solve? Call Ken's. Weekdays at 6 on Ken's 5.
Got a problem? Call Ken's. They will solve the problem.
My name is Sue Kalberg, and I am a journalist for KENS 5 for 22 years. I think it's been an awesome privilege to be able to work in the town that I grew up in. My uncle, Rex Stanley, was the very first guy hired at KENS 5. From the beginning, I said, you can get paid for that? Let me in. It fills my heart to be a part of the KENS family, because the KENS family is the San Antonio family. I am San Antonio's own Sue Kalberg.
We want to get you breaking news right now.
Here, let me show you the police activity. New insight into a deadly police shooting.
We just got an update from fire officials. We'll continue to keep you updated.
Stream extended coverage, live or on demand, right here on KENS 5 Plus.
Welcome back to the Weekly Wrap. At number 2 in our countdown, the fragile ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran still in effect, even as the two nations launch new strikes. A U.S. official confirms that American forces shot down 4 Iranian drones and hit a ground control center that threatened the Strait of Hormuz. In response, Iran said it attacked a U.S. military airbase, while President Trump ramped up the pressure on Tehran, claiming they're negotiating on fumes. He again stressed he's in no rush to strike a deal. Tenants at a local apartment complex say they've been without working AC and claim management still hasn't fixed the problem. One resident reached out to KENS 5 for help. Andrew Moore is pressing management for answers about when relief may finally come.
Tenants at Flats on Wakefield say their AC currently is not working at all, and code enforcement is also investigating the property. We reached out to the apartment complex management to ask why this is happening. We did get an answer, but it was not what tenants wanted to hear.
It's hot. It's super hot up there. That's why I try to stay away.
Robert Saucedo says he will intentionally stay at work late because his apartment is so hot. When KENS 5 visited, it appeared the AC was not working at all, and even the vent was almost 90 degrees. Saucedo finally had to buy an AC window unit, and he says telling management about the issue has not helped.
We send them emails, and they tell us every week, by the end of the week, it's going to be fixed, every week.
Other tenants told us the same thing.
It's hot. It's in the 90s already.
You hear me? I'm hot. It's hot. And see, when that man came that's in the office, he knew it was hot.
So KENS 5 then went to the leasing office to find out what they had to say about it.
The AC doesn't seem to work at all.
Okay.
And so we're trying
You got a card? And I can get you in touch with the people who talk to you.
They did not get back in touch with us, so we then called and emailed Bel Air Multifamily Management multiple times until we got a response. The management company later responded with a statement that said, in part, Bel Air Multifamily Management is a third-party management company and is not the owner of Flats on Wakefield. At this time, the property is operating with limited available funding. Despite those limitations, Bel Air Multifamily Management and the on-site teams have continued working within available resources to support residents and maintain daily property operations to the best of our ability. Bel Air Property Management did also say that they currently purchased temporary portable AC units for affected apartments. They did not say when or if the existing air cooling system will be repaired.
KENS 5 is now reaching out to code enforcement to get additional records on this property, and we're reaching out to the apartment complex's owner to ask why they are not able to get that AC fixed. For Call KENS, Andrew Moore, KENS 5.
Those poor people, it sounds miserable. Hopefully Andrew can get them some more answers. The Weekly Wrap, though, is back after this.
Go ahead. Take a look at the faces of San Antonio Zone. When you look into their eyes, you see passion, you see hard work, you see familia, generations of people who embody a rich culture of respect, honor, and originality. We're all in San Antonio, but more importantly, San Antonio is in us. It's what makes us special. It's why we're proud to be San Antonio's own.
talked to this police officers, and she told me to call Ken 5.
Every week, Ken's 5 is looking out for San Antonio's own.
The next day after you left, they sent a professional AC guy, and my AC is working now.
If you've been wronged by someone,
it was shocking. Clearly, something went wrong.
Or a business,
I couldn't believe it was happening.
Just call Ken's. Weekdays at 6, only on Ken's 5.
I got my vehicle back. I'm rolling again, so call Ken 5 to help you if you need help too.
Born and raised on the northwest side of San Antonio, Texas. Generations of my family have been from this part of Texas. I have Fiesta roots, I have Spurs roots, I have Texas Fighter roots. Played basketball at Clark. Basketball was a huge part of my life for 16 years. My comfort dish, a plate of chilaquiles with salsa verde. I grew up watching Ken's 5. I am who I am because of this beautiful city. I hope that they can find a sense of pride knowing that their creation is helping deliver them the most important news of the day. I'm Alicia Nieves, and I'm proud to be from this beautiful city.
If you want a meal that will make you say,
So good!
That is fantastic.
catch Neighborhood Eats, where we find the best local restaurants. Streaming now on Kent's 5 Plus.
Welcome back. The Salesian Sisters hosted a Spurs watch party for the children at St. John's Bosco School. The nuns went viral during their appearance at Game 4, but despite calls for them to head up to OKC as good luck for the Spurs, they say their mission is here at home, and that comes first. Ken's 5's Mike Jimenez shows us how the sisters are remaining humble despite the social media attention.
It's not about us and getting media hype for ourselves. That's the last thing that we desire.
If you have been paying attention to the media hype around the Spurs, chances are you have also seen the media hype around the Salesian Sisters of San Antonio.
We all were super touched by the game that happened on Game 4. We saw the sisters there praying for the Spurs, and you know, it went super viral.
Megan Cherry called the sisters' appearance at Game 4 super purposeful, so she wanted to make sure they traveled to Oklahoma City for Game 5.
So from there, I was kind of jokingly made a GoFundMe, sent it to like a group text with my friends.
That GoFundMe was shared in comment sections on social media, and people reacted.
Next thing you know, it was like at $850.
Cherry says she contacted the sisters, who asked her to remove it and donate the money directly to them.
We had other people who had offered to send us to Oklahoma as well. Obviously, our mission isn't to get to Oklahoma.
For the sisters, their mission is here in San Antonio.
Instead of sending us to Oklahoma, we said, can you help us to do a watch party with our young people and their families? So that's what we're doing tonight, because that means for us even more. And so, but we are going to pray for the Spurs.
But for Game 6, that'll be a different story. The sisters were given 4 seats, and Cherry was able to raise $4,000 for another 4 seats.
Shout out, because these things wouldn't be possible without, Adrian from Smoke Sky Bar stepping up, and Patrick Hammonds from the Injection Room that stepped up to make this happen.
But while the Salesian sisters are grateful for all the media attention, they want to make sure the community doesn't forget about their ultimate mission here on San Antonio's west side.
Right now, we're in great need financially. We have different parts of our buildings that are really in great need of repair. We have a playground that's fallen apart. Concrete work all throughout this property needs fixing. We don't have a school bus right now.
The sisters also tell me that they have a building in need of foundation repair, and they estimate that costs at $1 to $2 million. If you would like to help the sisters, we have posted ways on this web story at kens5.com. Mike Jimenez, Kens 5.
Hopefully they can find that funding, and hopefully they are sending up extra prayers for our Spurs. I know we all are, and good vibes, because it's at number 1 in our countdown today. The Spurs, they are playing a critical Game 6 Thursday with the Spurs down in the series against the Thunder. They have yet to win, and if they win tonight, this season, it'll continue, but if they don't, this season is over for the Spurs. The Silver and Black will have home court advantage Thursday when the game tips off at 7:30 at the Frost Bank Center. No Spurs are listed in the injury report. If the Spurs win, they'll play Game 7 in OKC on Saturday. So we are pulling for them. Well, thanks for joining us for this week's episode of the Weekly Wrap, only on Kens 5 Plus. We'll see you next week with all your other headlines. Bye, guys.